What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. Yes, we're finally back out on the gun range. It's been tough over these last couple of weeks. I appreciate all of you guys hanging in there with me. I'm sure you understand why. The family's been home. No one's been working. It's just been a weird couple of weeks for everybody, I think. And yes, I am stuffed up. No, it's not the coronavirus. I went to the doctor and everything checked out there, so fingers crossed. It's just a stuffy nose makes people freak out right now. So I did go to the doctor, but apparently I'm good to go. So a few weeks ago, I uploaded a video on concealed carry guns, and I had 3 or 4 of them out here we were playing with, and I asked for your guys' help in the comments on helping me choose which carry gun to switch to, and I got some amazing feedback, positives and negatives on all the guns I was shooting. The video actually got quite a few views for a channel my size, so I really appreciate that. And I have made a decision, so I thought we would come out here and show you guys my new carry gun and break it in a little bit. So if you watched the video, you're probably not surprised that yes, I chose the Sig Sauer P365XL. Now this is just the bigger brother to the Sig P365, and it's pretty much the same gun, I think. I think the XL has a different trigger, maybe, and it obviously has a longer grip and it holds a few more rounds. But I like that I can fit my pinky on the grip. You can see I got all my fingers on there, and then a gun this size being able to hold 12 rounds in the magazine is just amazing. So it was kind of a no-brainer. If this thing worked, I was gonna choose it, and I kind of made that obvious in the video. So enough of me blabbering, let's get to it. So I've got a couple hundred rounds out here, and it's kind of a weird time to just waste a bunch of ammo, but we're definitely gonna shoot this thing a lot. I just don't know if I'll shoot it as much as I would a few weeks ago, just because you can't find ammo right now. So got 12 rounds in the magazine. Let's take some shots on the steel. Feels so good. It just fits me perfectly. Feels like it's been forever since I've shot a gun. I miss it. So yes, I did buy this gun. Turtle Lake Tactical actually gave me a really good deal on it, so I want to thank them once again for helping me out. They helped me in the last video. They sent me a few of the guns that I used, and once again, he's just given me an amazing deal on this gun. So if you haven't checked out his website, go check it out. He helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. So I got a couple more magazines loaded. Let's speed it up a little bit, try and do some rapid fire. Not super fast, but just a little quicker. Man, that feels good. I couldn't tell if I missed. I might have missed a couple of those. I did see them start to kind of go up to the right, but it kind of feels like a full-size gun. Being able to get all your fingers on the grip, it really does help. It's not necessary. There's definitely smaller guns out there that work just fine and you can control really well, but it's definitely an advantage getting that pinky on the grip. All right, I'm gonna put my tactical hat on and embarrass myself a little bit. So I got the shot timer back out here. I do not do stuff like this, so this is gonna be pretty funny. But with the carry gun, I guess, fast reloads are somewhat important. It's probably rare that you're gonna do a full mag dump and then a reload, but you never know. That's why people carry spare magazines, and it's fun to practice this kind of stuff. So I've got a spare magazine fully loaded, and then 1 round in the magazine in the gun, and I just want to try one-shot reloads and see how fast we can get these done. So I don't have a holster for this gun yet. I'm actually going to buy one soon, and I just got the magazine kind of tucked in my belt here, so don't make fun of me in the comments for this. .26, actually not terrible for my first one. With full-size guns, I've done this kind of stuff a few times, and I've gotten them pretty quick. Like I said, I don't do this stuff very often, but that's pretty fast for a gun this size. I don't know if I'll be able to get too much better than that. .44. It's tough with a smaller gun because your pinky kind of snags the magazine. So whenever you go to drop a magazine free, like with a full-size gun, it just falls right out and you have all that extra room to play with. But with these littler guns, your pinky kind of holds that up, and your hand right here. So you almost have to adjust your grip, let the magazine fall, reload, and do it that way. So that is kind of awkward, at least for me. I mean, I suck at this kind of stuff. That one felt good. 1.94, so under 2 seconds. Hopefully you guys can see that. That was my goal, was to get one under 2 seconds. That's a 1.94, so sweet. A little sloppy, 1.98. I don't know if you guys are able to see this. The sun is so bright, I cannot see the screen on my camera, but that is a 1.98, so under 2 seconds. All right, we got a couple more rounds, then we're gonna do some experiments. .86. Plus, you gotta be kind of careful with these little guns. Whenever you bring a magazine up and put your grip, it's easy for that thumb to get kind of far out there, so trying to be careful. 1.9. All right, last one. .05. So not my bread and butter, but I was actually expecting it to go a lot worse. All right, so we're gonna do a couple ballistics gel tests, but first I wanna do a little redneck science experiment. So on the table here, I have 45 sporting clays all stacked together, and you can see I even put a strip of duct tape along the top of them there to kind of keep them in place. And this has nothing to do with concealed carry, but I want to see how many of these clays it will take to stop a 9mm bullet coming out of our little Sig P365. So I did a similar experiment with the compound bow in my last video, and our arrow went through 15 before it curved, and it didn't hit all the clays. So put your guesses in the comments. I'm thinking 20 to 25. All right, so we're not using just any regular bullet. We're actually going to use a 9mm tracer round. Now it's broad daylight, so we probably won't see anything, but who knows. I'm hoping I'm at a safe distance. It's a super small target, and I kind of got to get really low here, but I think we'll be all right. Make sure I get this shot perfect. I think we hit it. Well, I can tell just by looking at the amount that's left that my guess was definitely way off. So here's the rubble that's left over on the table. Just, I mean, obviously obliterated 90% of those. And then looking at the middle of this one, it looks like that might be the last one that was damaged. So we'll go ahead and count these that we have left over. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sporting clays left over, which means we got 34 that it actually broke. I don't know if we'll be able to find the bullet. I would like to, but obviously you can see this huge pile of rubble, and that bullet could have, I mean, ricocheted and went in any direction, honestly. So go ahead and put those off to the side. No way. That is our bullet. Holy crap. Look at the back of it. You can see, if it'll focus. Focus. There you go. You can see the back of that bullet where the tracer ignites whenever you fire it. And it's actually flattened out quite a bit. It's just covered in sporting clay dust, so it's kind of black. But that is our bullet, and it was laying right in front of that 35th sporting clay. So if you guessed 34, congratulations, you're correct. The beautiful thing about sporting clays is they're made out of clay, so you can just dump them right into the dirt and it doesn't hurt anything. All right, guys, before we wrap this up, we're gonna do a couple ballistics gel tests. So on the table, I have my 20% clear ballistics gel block, and I just wanna test a couple of my favorite carry rounds out of the Sig P365XL and see how they do. I hope this video is not running too long, but we haven't been able to shoot ballistics gel in a long time, so we gotta do it. All right, so we've only got one gel block, so some of these might go out the other side. They shouldn't, but with the shorter barrel, you do get, more penetration because you get less expansion usually. So we're gonna start with one of my favorites, the 124 grain plus P Hornady Critical Duty. Again, this is a round that's probably made for a full-size gun. It's a duty round, but I like it, so let's see how it does out of the 365. So no surprise to most of you, I'm sure, the critical duty once again did really well. So here is where it went into our ballistics gel block. And I try to start to the left and then work my way right as I go so that all of my cameras will pick up the slow motion. But you can actually see this one pretty well from the top of the gel block. And you can see the wound cavity for the first half of the gel. It looks pretty good, pretty big. And then the bullet continued down the gel block and came to a stop right there, fully expanded, and once again did really well. So I got to get on this side so you guys can see the tape measure. So it is upside down, but our critical duty stopped at about 14 inches. All right, next we got another one that I know a lot of you really like. This is the 124 grain plus P Federal Premium Hst. I actually didn't know this was the plus P when I grabbed it. I thought it was the regular one, but a lot of people like the plus P as well. So let's see. Big recoil difference, and it sounded a lot louder too. All right, the HST went in right below the critical duty, and from the front, the wound cavity on the HST looks a lot bigger than the critical duty. You can actually see the spirals in the gel block from the bullet expanding. And then over here, hopefully you guys can see that, but the wound cavity is definitely bigger than the critical duty, and it went down probably 6 or 7 inches before it started shrinking. And then our bullet came to a stop right there and is also fully expanded. And the plus P HST stopped at about 1 foot into our ballistics gel block. So if that was the standard pressure round, it would have gotten a little more penetration. The plus Ps, you know, they're going faster, so they hit harder, expand more, and usually penetrate a little bit less. All right, next we're gonna shoot a round that I haven't shot in quite a while and I'm a really big fan of. This is the 80 grain Fort Scott Munitions TUI, which stands for Tumble Upon Impact. So it's not a hollow point. It actually looks a lot like a pointy full metal jacket. Hopefully you guys can see that. But because it tumbles, it creates big wound cavities, and it stops, you know, in ballistic gel and tissue like a hollow point. It just doesn't expand like a hollow point. So I have tested these before. They're really impressive and I really like them, but I don't know if I've shot these out of a smaller pistol like this. So they might use velocity, you know, to tumble and perform how they're supposed to. Let's see. Really soft shooting compared to the last one. I'm telling you, man, I get positive and negative feedback on these Fort Scott TUI rounds, but I've never seen 9mm bullets that create the insane wound cavities that these do. So here is where it went into our ballistics gel block, and then at the top of the gel block, you can see it's the one right here on the right. And look at the difference in that. I mean, that looks like a rifle round. That's what you see when you shoot 5.56 and, you know, stuff like that. That is an insane wound cavity for a 9mm pistol round. Now, it did pass all the way through the ballistics gel, so that's a 16-inch 20% gel block, and they've done that before. They do tend to penetrate, you know, on the long side, but for those of you who don't, you know, mind deep penetration, and you do want that insurance that it is going to penetrate far enough to hit vital organs and stuff like that, which most of these will, but they're so erratic because of that tumbling, and just the amount of damage that they do in that ballistics gel is unparalleled, at least in the ammo that I've tested from a 9mm pistol. Crazy. Well, on that note, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. The Fort Scott TUI is a good, impressive way to end the video. This isn't an ammo test video, or we'd probably shoot a little bit more, but I just wanted to see how some of my favorite rounds did out of my new carry gun, and it looks like they're doing just fine. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of my decision on this gun. If you think I made the wrong decision or the right decision, I love it. I shoot the gun really well. It carries really easily. It's really comfortable, and what more could you ask for? So I'm excited to be back out here on the shooting range. Hopefully this virus goes away soon so that everyone can go back to work and we can continue making these videos. It has been a weird couple weeks, and I just want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I really appreciate it. So if you guys liked this video, as always, please hit that like button for me. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.